Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having a great start to your week. I hope that the things that you are setting out to do this week are coming into focus and you are working towards your goal and seeing the progress that you need to see. But remember what I always say, that no matter where you're at, no matter how off of the path you may seem, no matter how far behind it may appear, if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. One thing I see people do far too much is give up because they think they're too far behind, or they think that it's too late in the game. No, God is a redeemer of time. Let me tell you that the things that you think have far too gone past you to ever do, and you've sort of set them to the side, those are the things that you need to be picking up. Those are the things that you need to be embracing. Those are the things that you need to be setting your mind to do. Because if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. You're here for a purpose. You're here to make an impact. You're here to build a legacy. You're here to make your presence felt. You're not here to simply exist. You're not here to simply survive. You're not here so that other people can use you and benefit from your brilliance, your genius, your creativity. You are here to make an impact and leave an impression and touch this world in a way that only you uniquely can. But you got to believe you can, and you've got to stay in the fight. You got to push past some things. I want you to know, if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. Look, I want to talk to you real briefly right now about one of the reasons so many people fail to ever achieve dreams. People have got to the point now where just talking about dreams seems to be somewhat of a taboo. I don't have time to dream. I've got all this stuff over here, as if somehow your vision, which is an image of your destiny, an image of what you were designed to be, an image of the path and the plan that God had for your life. It's not a playbook. It's not something that you get to do once you get your chores done. Your vision and your dream is the elevated idea of who you are, and it's your responsibility to walk in it. It's not something you set aside until you get things done. It's the thing you do and things get done. But most people don't see it that way, because most people have been convinced that the dream is left for those who get their homework done. The dream is left for those who do this. Sometimes the things that you are fighting and struggling to do will never get done until you start walking in your purpose, until you start walking in your designed destiny. And that's when you start to see things unfold for you. That's when things start to line up. I'm never going to tell you that things are easy. I'm never going to tell you that there aren't challenges. I'm never going to tell you that you won't experience all of the different things that people experience in this life. What I will tell you is that you will come out of this thing victorious if you stay the course, if you believe in the things that God has planted inside of you, the things that are literally entrenched in your DNA, but yet you are sitting them aside because society says you can't have them because. So I want to really truly encourage you in that. But I'm going to talk to you about this thing that we tend to do. We tend to seek out and desire the affirmation or the approbation or the validation of external source. We want someone else to say that it's okay to have this idea, to have this goal, to have this vision, to desire these things. And we want someone to say, yes, you can do it. Yes, it's okay. Yes, I can see how you can do it. I see it in you. Now, it's great to have affirmation. It's great to have someone that acknowledges what they see in you, or acknowledges what you're feeling that you should be doing. It's a great thing for people to look at you and say, you are unbelievably gifted in this, or you are exceptional in that. I love the way you do. It's great to have those things, but none of those things are necessary for you to step up and to walk out into what God has for you, what God designed for you. The only thing is, you need to have a vision. The first thing you have to understand is that your vision is yours. It's no one else's. God didn't give it to anybody else. He gave it to you. God gave you something and planted something in you, and it's been that. One of the biggest things that we do in this culture, in this society, is we crush the imagination and the vision of our children at a very early age. We start to tell them to get their heads out the clouds, stop daydreaming. That's not realistic. All these different things that put them in a mindset that the thing that they're seeing deep inside of their soul, that's tugging literally at the strings of their soul and the strings of their heart, isn't a real thing. It's just something that they have for a time being, for a specific time, and then they have to let it go. Your creativity and your imagination should be working for you well into your latter years. You should be sitting up and searching the imagination. That's the voice of God. That is God planning ideas. That's what the imagination is. But what do? We sit around and we let other people decide what we're capable of doing. We let other people tell us, well, no, I don't think that's good for you. I think you will be better off as this. Have you really tried that? That's a little bit out of your league. Are you serious? Nobody in your family's ever done it before. And all of this here. And what you start to do is you start to listen, and they start to literally plant a seed of doubt, and everything that you're getting is either speaking towards or speaking against what it is you desire. And that's why one of my favorite passages in the Bible says that we are not, though we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh. You hear me talk about this all the time. It says, for the weapons of our warfare aren't carnal, meaning that it's not the things that you can see. It's not the ordinary things. Another one tells us that we should not be leaning into our own understanding, but in all our ways acknowledging Him, and He would. We're supposed to be trusting some of the things that we're feeling. We have put our intuition aside. We have put our spiritual discernment aside. We have put our spiritual direct connectivity in line with God aside, and we're trying to reason and rationalize with a limited understanding of what's possible, because if we are trying to work it out in our mind, we are doing it from a place of experience. And so our experience and our past can only tell us what we've been through. And if what we are trying to do is something that we've never seen, never done before, we're going to talk ourselves out of it. But what does it say? It says, though we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh, for the weapons of our warfare, what? Not carnal, but they're mighty, what? In God, for the entire creation, for the pulling down of what? Strongholds, every obstacle, every blockage, everything that you think is holding you back, everything that you think is stopping you, everything that you think won't allow you to do it. It's casting down strongholds, bringing every thought into captivity. Every thought is a seed. Your thoughts are the seeds of your destiny. And if you have the wrong people around you, if you're seeking approbation and approval from the wrong people, they are planting seeds of doubt. They are planting seeds of inferiority. They are planting seeds of victimization. They are planting seeds of, oh, woe is me. They are planting seeds that, if you're not careful, will become the very fruit of your destiny. You know what you got to do. You got to cast down the arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. You got to bring every thought into captivity. You've got to understand this is a psychological process that is divine, meaning that I literally have the ability to speak things that are not. And by speaking them, I'm creating what? New neural pathways in my brain that will support a new idea. And what I am actually operating off of is my belief system. And when I start to plant new neural pathways, I start to create new beliefs. I start to leave old beliefs behind. I start to do this. This is called neuroplasticity. This means that I can take a mindset, a personality, a way of being, a way of seeing things, and I can literally reprogram my brain. And when I reprogram my brain, there's this thing called neurobiology. That means that however I'm thinking in my mind impacts how I feel in my body. I can shift so much by simply changing the way I'm thinking. And if I've got the wrong people around me whispering the sweet nothings of negativity in my ear, I have a problem. God didn't give them the vision. He gave it to me. The second thing is, most people are going to view your vision, view your idea, view your hopes, view your aspiration, view your dreams through the lens of their own faith. What does that mean? They're going to take their beliefs and apply them to you. They're going to sit up and go by what they believe is possible, what they believe can happen, what they believe someone of your background, someone of your lineage should be doing, and how you fit into it. They will literally apply it to you, and they will superimpose their faith upon you. You've got to understand, you need to surround yourself with like-minded people. You need to surround yourself with people who believe All things are possible. You need to learn how to develop and create a circle that's going to work for you. You've got to set your dreams on fire and look for the people who will fan the flames. Find the people. I'm not talking about yes men or yes women. I'm not talking about people who are going to sit up and tell you nothing's wrong when something's wrong. I'm not talking about people who won't call you on your BS. I'm talking about people who can look at you and see the potential. I'm talking about people who will sit up and know you're special in a certain area and literally fan your flames, literally encourage you. Sometimes you're going to give up. Sometimes you're going to want to quit. Sometimes you're not going to see it, but they see it. And they'll sit up and remind you of who you are. You need those type of people in your circle. And finally, you got to finish. You've got to finish what you start. See, that's another major issue in the things I see why people don't accomplish anything is that they already have plan B lined up. I was asked a long time ago about plan Bs, and I says I don't have one. Now I say I may adjust plan A depending on strategy, but plan A is plan A includes the destination, and the destination doesn't change. So then plan B is simply saying, I don't want to put in the work. I don't want to go through the discomfort. I don't want to take on the challenges of plan A. So I'm going to plan B is always simpler and easier and less strain than plan A. So what's going to happen when plan A gets tough? What's going to happen when plan A gets painful? What's going to happen when you really truly got to reach deep down inside to progress plan A? You're going to default to plan B. It's natural. We want to be comfortable. The idea of pushing, I don't give myself an option. When I set up in my mind that I'm going to get something, I'm going to get it or I'm going to die trying. I don't care how long it takes. If it goes well beyond the time that it should have gone, I want it and I'm going after it. It's meant for me. If God planted a seed, you've heard it said before, if you can conceive it in your mind, that's God's evidence that it's possible. I don't have to question it. If I could see it in my mind, the benevolent God of the universe wouldn't allow me to think something or see something in my imagination that I couldn't have. That would be torture. And that wouldn't be a benevolent God. That would be a torturous God. That would be a sadistic God. The God that I know that I am connected with wants me to have the things that I'm designed to have, the things that I can perceive and conceive in my mind, or the things that I can have. If it's good, if it blesses me, if it blesses my family, if it blesses my friend, if it blesses people within my periphery or the people within my reach, then it cannot be withheld from me. It will not be withheld from me. I can sit up and I can make sure that it comes to me. Now, the thing is, I don't control the timing. And I've got to be okay with that. I got to be okay that it will arrive at the right time. I've got to trust that what I consider to be the right time wasn't, because it will arrive when it's supposed to arrive. It is always when it's supposed to arrive. I have to trust that. But you got to be willing to finish what you start. You got to be willing to sit up and say, you know what? I'm going all in. I am committed. I'm not going to turn around. I'm not going to let go. I'm not relenting. I'm not turning this thing loose. I'm going to finish what I start. When you make up in your mind to go the distance, when you make up in your mind that you're going to finish, things happen. Your faith is being tested. Your beliefs are being tested. These limiting beliefs that we develop over time, many are given to us in our childhood, and they literally create the framing and the constructs by which we approach life. And we are sitting around allowing these limiting beliefs to determine what we can do, what we can have, what we can achieve in this world. And these limiting beliefs are simply illusions. Nothing shall be impossible. For and I say this every morning in my journal, I call things that are not as though they are, and they become. That's the power that you have when you trust and believe. I'm not telling you it's easy. What I'm telling you is it's possible. And we have to get an understanding of the difference. We want possible to be easy. Possible simply means that if you do it the right way and you consistently move in on it and you consistently follow through, that there's absolutely nothing that you cannot do. And that's the thing we have to do. It's a constant state of growing. It's a constant state of becoming. I tell people all the time, I'm not the person, and I got this from my grandfather. I'm not the person that I want to be or should be, but I thank God I'm not the person I used to be. And the reason I'm not the person I used to be, because every day I wake up and there's no 0 days. No 0 days. What does that mean? There's not a day that goes by that I don't search out something, look into something, learn something, touch somebody who can bless me with new knowledge so that I don't go to sleep the same person that woke up that morning. And when you do that consistently, you will look up 6 months from now, you will look up for a year from now, and you will not resemble the person that's sitting there now. That's the power of intentional change. That's the power of being committed to being better. No 0 days. And that's my absolute commitment. No 0 days. I might not grow, but a minute bit, but I won't be the same person that went to sleep. I mean, that woke up this morning when I go to sleep tonight. That's the goal. And I guarantee if you do that each and every day, you will start to see things change. And then remember, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. So if I want something, then I need to become it. And the way that I become it is I develop into it by being intentional about the things that I learn, by the things that I develop within myself, by the way that I grow. I control that. By the things I engage, by the things I consume, by the people I embrace. Those are the things that will determine what I'm becoming. I control that. So on that note, look, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I had to stop by and talk to you about this today. Look, share it with somebody, watch it again, consume it as much as necessary. It's free. But also check out the description box and look at some of the resources that are in there. Everything from working with me, uh, courses, online courses on how to deal with limiting beliefs, how to overcome the wrong mindset, how to develop a winning mindset. All of that's in there. And then there's a link with even more resources. So again, look, you have to make the choice. You got to make up in your mind that this is, I hear people every year during the turn of the year, at the beginning of the year. This is my year. 2020 is going to be my year. 2021 is going to be my year. And you look up and they're in the same spot every time. Why? Because it's not the declaration. It is the embracing of the process. It is the embracing of a commitment to work out the plan. It is a clear-cut idea of what I'm going to do. And you wake up every day and you put in the work. You wake up every day and you go the distance. You wake up every day and you refuse to quit. I'm telling you, I've taken some gut punches over my life. And these last few years have been crazy. But I tell you what, I've never received so much in the way of blessing, in the way of elevation, in the way of hope, in the way of vision. And I've watched the lives I've touched. Is one of the ways I measure my impact and success. Money is secondary. How am I impacting people's lives? How am I encouraging, inspiring, instructing, informing, elevating, teaching, transforming? All of these different things are something I have the capacity to do. How am I doing in that? How are people better because they know me or know of me? That is the thing. Be blessed. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I'm challenging you to do the same thing. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable remainder of your day.